Okay, part 3 of your exam. So let's start with the logarithmic equations or expressions. So determine the value of this. Okay, so right now I'm just going to do this first. So what is log 327? So remember that this is your base and this is your result. So we have to think about what exponent does that. So that would be a 3. So this is equivalent to 3. So now I have a new question. So log 9/3. So what's the exponent that would do that? So you're doing a base of 9 to some exponent, and then the result was 3. So what would this exponent have to be? 1/2, right? Square root is the same as a 1/2 exponent. Okay, next. Log 3 of something equals 1. So these log 3's, they got separated by adding. So how would I put them back together? I would multiply them. Okay, separation by add means that they were put together with multiplying. Okay, now this is my base, this is the result, and this is the exponent. So I'm going to move them around. 3 to the 1 is this result. Okay, now I'm going to expand this, FOIL it, x squared minus 2x minus 4x plus 8. I'm also going to work to move that to make it a 0. So x squared minus 6x plus 5. Okay, I'm going to try to factor. If it's not factorable, I do the formula, the quadratic formula, right? So let's try here. Multiplies to 5, needs to make 6, negative 6. So that would work. So x equals 5 or x equals 1. Now you have to plug these in. So if I put a 5 in here, this is good. It's still above 0. And if I put a 5 in here, it's also good. 1 subtract 4, that is creating a negative. So I have to eliminate that. Okay, more log rules. So this is log A of something, and I have to put it back together. Okay, so the 1/2 coefficient can now go to a exponent, and the subtract would put together as a divide. If you separate subtract, it was put together divide. So 36 to the 1/2 divided by 2. So the log rules, right? Exponents, coefficients. Subtracted separation means it was divided. Okay, so let's simplify this. This is 6 square root, right? Square root. Same thing. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, solve algebraically. So this is an example where I could make them both a base of 5. So 125 I'm going to write as 5 cubed. And then I still have to put it to the exponent, 3x plus 4. How do you write a 1/5? It's the same as 5 to the -1. right? Because negatives make stuff move to the bottom. So now that I have the bases the same, I have to make sure the exponents are the same. So 9x plus 12, when I FOIL that through, or distribute it through, 9x plus 12 is equal to negative x. Okay, so I need to collect x's and numbers. So let's minus 9x. And then I would divide by negative 10. And to be honest, that is fine if you just leave it like that, or you could have reduced it, or you could make that a decimal. Okay, next, I am not going to be making this into the same base, so I'm going to log both sides, which will help me get the exponents out of the exponent position. Okay, so this and this are multiplied, so I'm going to go log 2 plus x log 7, because I'm doing all my rules at once. Multiplied things added, the x exponent can come in the front. This is the exponent, the whole thing. Okay, so the exponent moves in the front. So I'm going to distribute this. Okay. Now x stuff one way, non-x stuff the other. So let's go moving those things. So log 2 plus 9 log 3 equals 2x log 3 minus x log 7. Okay, I am now going to work with the x side and factor out an x. So 2 log 3 minus log 7. Just recording. And then I'm going to divide to isolate the x. Alright, so this would be some careful typing. So brackets, log 2 plus 9 log 3 divided by 2 log 3 minus log 7. Whoa, minus log 7. Alright, let's see. 42.101. I think I'm actually just going to redo that because I kind of was messing up. So give me 2 seconds here. Okay, seems to work out again. Okay. Just double checking my errors here. That seems like a crazy high number. Did we do everything right? 2x log 3. Oh, yep, I see an error. It's alright. This, when I distribute it, where did I get the 9 from here? Okay, so 3 log 3. So now I gotta follow that number. Sorry, people. Follow that. Now I'm gonna retype it. Okay, log 2, try this again, plus 3 log 3 divided by 2 log 3 minus log 7, 15.872 is what I got this time. I'm just going to double check my answer here. So what does this side equal if I plug that in? Okay. 3 to the okay, so you can always check your answer at the end. Okay, a word problem here. Determine how many monthly investments of 50 bucks you would have to deposit into a savings account. Here's your interest, compound it monthly, and you want to end up with $50,000. So future value is 50,000. R is the invested amount, so every month you're doing 50 bucks. 1 plus the interest is 0.03 divided by 12. To the n, we don't know, minus 1, all over the interest. So remember, the annual gets divided by 12 because it's compounded monthly. Okay, so I'm going to take this 50,000. I'm going to be timesing it by that. I'm going to divide by 50, and then I'm also going to add 1. I'm going to do all those things. I'm going to times to get rid of that, divide to get rid of that, and I have to do this last, add 1. So 50,000 times the interest, divide by 50, plus 1. Okay, so do all those things. So I get 3.5. How do we solve for a variable in the exponent position? We're going to have to log both sides. So log 3.5 equals, and when I log this, I can now move the exponent as a coefficient. Okay, to isolate n, I'm going to divide okay, so log 3.5 divided by log bracket equals 501.73 dot 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 dot. And since this is making payments, you always round up, because if you round down no matter what, that would make you short of money. So you would make 502 payments. How many monthly investments? So be careful if it asks you years, you might have to convert that, but that's how many months it will take you. Okay, permutation stuff. You need a council of 6 people. There's 9 girls and 4 boys. Okay, so if you had no restrictions, you would have 13 people, and you're going to be choosing 6. Okay, there needs to be 3 girls and 3 boys. So you're going to pick 3 girls, and you have 9 girls. And also you are going to pick 3 boys, and you have 4 to choose from. So this is 84, and this is 4, sorry. Okay, so when you multiply, you get 336. There needs to be at least 4 girls. So you could have 4 girls, you could have 5 girls, or you can have all girls. Okay, so if there's 4 girls, you're going to go 9, choose 4, and 4 choose 2, because if you had 4 girls, you need 2 boys. 5 girls, you're going to have 9 to pick 5 from, and then out of the 4 boys, you have to pick 1 of them. And the other option, 9 choose 6, you don't need to write this, but that means you have 0 boys you're picking from. Okay, so 9 choose 4, 126 times 6, so that 9 choose 5, 126 times 4 is 504. Okay, and then 9 choose 6 is 84. So you have to add those all up. 1,344. Okay, you have to have 3 boys and 3 girls. Also, Jessica or Michael have to be on the committee, but not both. Okay, so let's do it if Jessica was on and Michael was off. So if Jessica's on, that's 1 choose 1, that's for Jessica. Now you need 2 more girls. How many girls do you have to pick from now? There was 9, but you've already used Jessica, so you have 8. Now you need 3 boys, and you don't have 4 boys to pick from because you can't have Michael. Does that make sense? So that's the boys, and then you have the remaining girls. So 8 choose 2, and 3 choose 3 is 1. So there's 28 ways to do that. Or the other situation would be Michael is on and Jessica is off. So if Michael is on, that's 1 choose 1. You need 2 other boys. Okay, but now you have only 3 choices. And then girls, you need 3 girls. And you only have 8 girls that you can pick from. So this is 3, and 8 choose 3 is 56. Okay, so if we add those together, we get 196. You want to arrange your music CDs on a shelf, and you have all these categories. You have country, rap, and pop. You have to put the categories together. So how many categories are you arranging? So that's me saying I could do country and then rap and then pop, or I could do rap, country, pop, pop, country, rap, whatever. You're arranging that. And then within the category, you can be moving those around. So you have to times those all together. And there you go. Okay, polynomial stuff. Determine the remainder when you divide. Okay, so the remainder theorem says I'm going to plug in the value. Since this is the factor, I'm going to plug in -2. So -2 to the 5th minus 12 times -2 plus 1. So this is -32 plus 24 plus 1. So the remainder is 7. So if I ask you a question about, is this a factor or does this divide evenly? So this is not a factor because your remainder would have to be 0. Okay, if I do synthetic division, I've put the -2 on the outside. And then you have to write the coefficients in decreasing degrees. So there's some gaps here. So 1 is the 5th degree. There's no 4th. There's no 3rd. There's no squared. And a -12 and a 1. Okay? 5th degree, there's nothing for 4th, 3rd, squared. That's the x, and that's the 1. Okay, so I pull that down, 1, multiply, -2, add. Multiply, 4, add, 4, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Obviously my answers match. So some conclusions I can make is that that's not a factor, and -2 is not an x-intercept or 0 of this. Okay, next. Given that x minus 1 is one of the factors, express this as a product of factors. So I'm going to go with synthetic division. If this is, then I put a 1 in the front. Coefficients in a decreasing degree. So 1 for the cube, 0 for a squared, -57, and then 56. So bring that down, 1, multiply 1, add 1. Multiply 1, add -56, multiply -56, add 0. And we knew that because it said it was a factor. Okay, so now I had the factor x minus 1. This is the remainder, the number, the x squared. And it makes sense, a cube divided by x would result in an x squared. So 1x squared plus x minus 56. And I'm going to try to break this down. So x and then 56 is a product of 7 and 8. And then that's how I get that. So that's it for a product of factors. If it said all the zeros, I would have to say 1, 7, and -8. So be careful, product of factors, or what are all the zeros? So if I had asked what are the zeros, that's what you would have answered. Okay, graph the polynomial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th degree, and it's negative, which means it's an upside down W. X-intercepts are 2, 1 with a bounce, and -1. The y-intercept means make all the x's 0, so the coefficient times -2 times -1 squared times +1. So what does that all work out to be? +2? Okay, so let's 1, -1, and 2. And all you need is a 1 and a 1 tick as a scale and you're good. Okay, you ready? Remember that this has a bounce, so we got to go that. Doesn't really matter what you do for height there, but you need to bounce and then go back down.